This week, and after 15 months of continuous war in the Gaza enclave Palestine, a ceasefire deal was announced. We will discuss this and a lot more, but let's start by taking a look at what else happened in the region this past week. Relentless bombings and strikes in Gaza. Millions were displaced. Thousands were killed. But even with all the destruction and the deaths, on Wednesday, Gazans were thrilled to hear about a ceasefire deal. They were looking forward to see who of their loved ones would be in the prisoner swap deal and other details. But the question that lies ahead: will Hamas and the Israelis agree on a way to end this war and to govern inside Gaza? We tell you more in this report. From the war-torn Palestinian enclave to the streets of New York and Canada. The announcement of a ceasefire in Gaza and the return of hostages is reverberating. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said a deal to return the hostages in the Gaza Strip is finalized after last-minute snag. Israel delayed vote on the ceasefire on Thursday, blaming the last-minute dispute with Hamas over the Philadelphia corridor.
Even last night, the Prime Minister strongly insisted that Hamas fold their last-minute demand to change the deployment of IDF forces in the Philadelphia corridor, so important, so crucial to stop weapons smuggling to Hamas.
Hamas denied these claims, saying that it is committed to the ceasefire agreement proposed by the mediators. Washington's outgoing diplomat Antony Blinken was the first to announce that the ceasefire is taking effect after 15 months of bombings. He unveiled the day-after-war plan for Gaza, which includes the unification of Gaza and West Bank under a reformed Palestinian Authority. Blinken criticized Israel's policies towards Palestinians, saying that it cannot go on with its annexation in West Asia. Blinken was heckled while he was giving his final remarks at the press briefing and was questioned over US's handling of the Gaza war.
Thank you.
Oh, respect the process, respect this process. Well, everybody from Amnesty International to the ICJ saying that Israel's doing genocide and extermination, and you're telling me to respect the process. Criminal, why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague?
Outgoing US President Joe Biden addressed US troops on Thursday, saying it took 8 long months for his administration and mediators to finalize the ceasefire, and thanked the troops for their contribution.
I ask you to deploy to the Middle East. Again, you stepped up, pulling long nights and long deployments to weaken Hamas, to defend Israel against unprecedented attacks in Iran. Imagine had we not. If we don't lead the world, who will lead the world? Who?
The ceasefire deal signed in Doha involves 3 phases. In the first phase, 33 of some 100 hostages who remain in Gaza are said to be released over the next 6 weeks in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. Israeli forces will pull back from many areas. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians would be able to return to what's left of their homes. The remainder of the hostages, including male soldiers, are to be released in a second and much more difficult phase that will be negotiated during the first phase. Hamas has said that it will not release the remaining captives without a lasting ceasefire and a full Israeli withdrawal. Israel has vowed to keep fighting with Hamas until the very end. Even after the announcement of the ceasefire, Israeli forces are continuing to bomb Gaza. Longer-term questions about post-war Gaza remain. The World Health Organization says Gaza's devastated healthcare system will need at least $10 billion for revival.
WHO and my team is very much involved in the work on the health sector, and what we get for initial figures, and I think this is for that is a massive. You talk about 3 billion over the next 1.5 year, and over the next 6 to 7 years, you talk about only for health something like 10 billion.
Before the war began, Gaza was one of the most densely populated enclaves on the planet, with a population of over 2 million. The war has resulted in the destruction of over 170,000 buildings and has damaged the majority of Gaza's roadways, schools, and hospitals. The world now faces the daunting task of rebuilding what was lost in the past 15 months.
So Iran recently held nuclear talks with the European Union, and Tehran is now saying the ball is in America's court. The US has to decide whether to revive the nuclear talks that the Trump administration backed out from, or to kill it. Meanwhile, Iran is preparing itself, arming the military with 1,000 new missiles and carrying on naval drills. We tell you more in this report.
Conducting one of its biggest war games across the country, Iran has unveiled its first ever intelligence ship. The Zagros is a new category of Iranian military vessel equipped with electronic sensors to intercept cyber operations and conduct intelligence monitoring. Iranian state media says almost 1,000 new drones were delivered to Iran's army on Monday. Commander of Iran's army, Major General Abdul Rahim Mousavi, and Defense Minister Aziz Nasirzadeh were pictured walking among the drones at an undisclosed location. The storage have high stealth and anti-fortification abilities. The Iranian army commander also sent out a message to the enemies of the Islamic Republic.
We have more military capabilities than we had previously. The strength and power of the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran has increased daily. We are ready to defend this great nation with all our might.
ما آمادگی داریم که با تمام قدرت از این ملت بزرگ دفاع کنیم.
The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps are assisting Iranian military in the exercise. The IRGC said drills dubbed as Iqtidar or Might in Farsi are scheduled to take place till March. This week, Iran expanded military drills to include the Fordo and Kondab nuclear facilities. Iranian leaders are considering the prospect of Trump empowering Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to attack Iran's nuclear sites while further tightening US sanctions on its oil industry through his maximum pressure policy. Iran held talks with Britain, France, and Germany aimed at reviving Iran's 2015 nuclear deal. The Iranian foreign minister says finalizing a roadmap with European powers will put the ball in US court to accept or kill the deal. Iran says it won't negotiate with the US on nuclear matters till Washington returns to the 2015 nuclear deal.
Our policies are still the same. We will not negotiate with the US government on the nuclear issue until they return to the JCPOA or announce their own policy in this regard.
Trump has, however, vowed to return to the policy he pursued in his previous term that sought to wreck Iran's economy. in order to force the country to negotiate a deal on its nuclear program, ballistic missile program, and regional activities. But with Iran sending a clear message to its enemy, will year 2025 see an escalation of volatility in West Asia?
Lebanon has a new president and now a new designated prime minister. Nawaf Salam, the International Criminal Court of Justice jurist, is the Lebanese prime minister. Meanwhile, the French Emmanuel Macron came to the country. The question is Hezbollah part of the future in Lebanon? What is the role of the negotiations that Macron is now leading? And what will be the future for the Lebanese? We tell you more in this report.
The Lebanese are feeling optimistic after a majority of MPs voted Nawaf Salam to the Prime Minister's office.
We did not think that he would become Prime Minister, and he did. So I don't think that right now there is anything impossible. There is a possible agreement between a large group of members of the parliament that there will be a change, because no one is able to stand this anymore, not even the MPs. God willing, we will see a change. I think that yes, he can form a government that is at least capable of doing 20% of what the President of the Republic said he would do. God willing, it will be good.
After consultations with elected President Joseph Aoun, 2/3 of the 128-member parliament nominated the 71-year-old jurist. Lebanon's caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati just got 9 votes. Born in Beirut in 1953, Salam started his career as an academic and lecturer at universities, including the American University of Beirut, the Sorbonne in Paris, and the Harvard University in the United States. He served as Lebanon's ambassador to the United Nations for 10 years. A lawyer and a judge, Salam joined the International Criminal Court in 2018, and in 2024, he was made its president. Salam presided over South Africa's ongoing case that accuses Israel of committing genocide in Gaza and ruled that Israel's occupation of Palestinian territory is unlawful. In his first public address, Nawaf said too many opportunities were wasted to build the state. He also vowed to extend state authority across Lebanon.
After the suffering, sorrows and pains because of the latest aggression of the barbaric Israeli enemy on Lebanon, and after the worst economic crisis and financial policies which have impoverished the Lebanese, the time has come to say enough is enough. The time has come to start a new chapter, a chapter that we want rooted in justice, security, progress and opportunities, so Lebanon can be a country of free citizens with equal rights and duties.
In 2022, Salam failed to secure enough votes and lost the premiership to the man he is now replacing, Najib Mikati. This time around, the Shiites, Amal movement and Hezbollah abstained from nominating anyone for the Prime Minister office. In 2023, the duo reportedly agreed to a so-called French initiative that suggested the election of Hezbollah and Amal's candidate Suleiman Frangi as president in exchange for Salam to be named Prime Minister. On Monday, the head of Hezbollah's parliament bloc, MP Mohammad Rad, said that the party had been deceived with the aim of creating division and exclusion in the country. The constitution guarantees all 80 religious sects in the country are ensured representation in government, the military and the civil service. The 3 key government positions of president, prime minister and speaker must be split between a Maronite, Christian and Sunni Muslim and a Shia Muslim. The newly elected Prime Minister has promised to implement the Taif Accord of 1989 that ended the Lebanese civil war. The accord aimed to limit the sectarian split to a new upper house in the parliament. With a battered economy and damaged southern Lebanon, Nawaf Salam says he has reached out to all sides of the political spectrum to rescue the crisis-hit country. The question is, will Hezbollah agree to Nawaf's reforms or push back against decisions they may feel weaken Lebanon's resolve against Israel?
Let's go to Yemen. Yemen's Houthis are promising Israel more attacks if they breach the Gaza ceasefire deal. Now, Yemenis have been attacking Israel in solidarity with Gaza, and in the recent week they have targeted several targets in Tel Aviv. On the other side, they have also targeted ships in the maritime trade route. We tell you more in this report.
Ever since the war erupted in Gaza, Houthis have been repeatedly attacking vessels in the Red Sea, exposing the vulnerabilities of supply chains that sustain international trade. This week, the Yemeni group attacked the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman and its accompanying warships in the northern Red Sea. Houthis claim they used winged missiles and drones to hit the vessels that were trying to attack Yemen. In the past 2 months, Houthis have repeatedly targeted the heart of Israel, Tel Aviv, claiming their attacks were expressions of solidarity with Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. Till the moment Israel and Hamas reached a ceasefire deal, Houthis said they struck Tel Aviv twice in 12 hours.
The missile force of the Yemeni armed forces carried out a significant military operation targeting the so-called Ministry of Defense of the Israeli army in the occupied city of Jaffa with a hypersonic ballistic missile of the type Palestine II. The missile reached its target with Allah's help, and the interception systems failed to confront it. The operation is the third one within 12 hours.
The missile breached the Iron Dome, evading Israeli attempts to shoot it down. Israel later said shrapnel from the missile fell inside a civilian home near Jerusalem.
At 4 in the morning, a missile fell. The Houthi missile fell and landed between the tile roof and the ceiling of the shelter and broke the roof. This is the story. It is a piece of shrapnel that is of a meter circumference and 4 meters long, a significant piece that luckily fell on the shelter ceiling. I do not know what might have happened if it fell on another part of the roof.
From Israel's power station in Eilat to its defense facilities and airports near Tel Aviv, Houthis have vowed to strike Israel till it lifts its siege on Gaza. Back in Yemen, scores gathered in the capital shortly after the ceasefire was announced on Wednesday. The protesters seem to be carrying personal weapons and chanting slogans opposing America and Israel.
We congratulate our brothers in Palestine and the leadership of Hamas movement on this historic victory and legendary resilience, which will undoubtedly have lasting consequences. God Almighty has spoken the truth. Indeed, God will support those who support Him, and humiliation will never happen.
After several deals of exporting the Kaan Turkish-made drone, Turkey is now wanting more in the weapons market. It is now going to export the Turkish-made missiles and working on a new kind of warships to add to the fleet in West Asia. We tell you more in this report.
Turkey is strengthening its defenses in a big way. Over the past few days, Ankara has initiated a round-the-clock mission to build 31 naval ships. In line with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's emphasis on accelerating Ankara's defense capacity, last week Turkey held the first welding ceremony of its national submarine project. And without doubt, the simultaneous construction of what amounts to an entire naval fleet worth over $8 billion is a milestone for the West Asian nation. Ankara is currently building 5 Reese-class submarines based on German-designed Type 214, 7 I-class frigates, 6 open-sea patrol vessels, 8 modern landing craft tanks, a modern mine-hunting ship, and a 55-class fast-attack craft. With its air-independent propulsion systems, AIPs, the Reese-class submarine is unlike any other. AIP systems allow conventional submarines to remain underwater longer by allowing them recharge their batteries without surfacing. Turkish defense planners aim to build a long-range and high-precision fleet that can initiate attacks through sea-launched cruise missiles. The construction spree also reflects Turkiye's aspirations to project power not just within West Asia, but also as far as the Horn of Africa and the Indian Ocean. Unmanned Turkish aerial vehicles are also establishing their presence in Africa. Turkish drone company Zyron Dynamics recently exported its ZD-100 and ZD-200 rotary wing drones to an African country, where they will play a key role in disaster search and rescue operations. The ZD-100 sets itself apart from competitors with an impressive flight time of 80 minutes, a payload capacity of 3 kilograms, and a top speed of 130 kilometers per hour. Turkiye's ZD-200, on the other hand, is designed for more demanding missions. It boasts a maximum payload capacity of 20 kilograms and can achieve a flight range of over 25 kilometers with a 10 kilogram payload. On the one hand, while Turkiye is expanding its global market, it is also reducing its reliance on the West for its weaponry, and that no doubt explains the Turkish president's growing confidence on his country's ability to tackle on its own the terrorist threats in its neighborhood, from the PKK to Islamic State group in Iraq and Syria.
All countries should take hands off Syria. Together with their Syrian brothers, we have the capacity and ability to crush all terrorist organizations in the country, including YPG and Islamic State, in a very short time.
Now to the progress part of West Asia. The United Arab Emirates have recently led a renewable energy summit. Now the UAE, Italy and Albania have signed a $1 billion deal. The details in this report.
Strongly believe in this project involving our three governments, as well as our private sector and grid operators. And I am personally proud of this initiative, because it tangibly shows new forms of cooperation can be built, even among seemingly distant partners, at least geographically speaking.
That's all we have for you on this episode of the West Asia Post. I will see you next week with a brand new lineup, always bringing you the most recent updates, news and ground reports from the most volatile region in the world. I'm Ghadi Francis signing off from Beirut, Lebanon. For more global news, keep on watching WION. World is One.
The Earth is sending distress signals. Wildfires, droughts, and melting glaciers. Can we reverse the damage? Explore the harrowing effects of climate change. It's a wake-up call. Global emergency. Climate Tracker on WION World is One.
Ready to dive into your daily dose of news?
Bringing you what's trending in the West and all that's setting trends in the East.
And all of this served up with a side of insightful banter.
We don't just bring you the latest stories.
We bring you your talking points for the day.
And while you do that, from the busy streets of New York, I will provide you with deeper insights on the developments through the course of the day in the US.
And I will be here at the WION headquarters, getting you all the action from the universe of sport. All that you need to know about your favorite teams and players, right here.
The show that keeps you ahead of the global curve. A conversation you'd want to be a part of. A place where news becomes an engaging exchange.
We bring you stories that impact your present.
This is World DNA. Join the conversation.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
This week on Tech It Out, we explore the rise of robots and see how robots are revolutionizing industries and changing the way we live and work. We also delve into how cutting-edge technologies are revolutionizing healthcare. And we take you on a unique journey to Tokyo's Extinct Media Museum, a fascinating space dedicated to preserving the history of technology. This and more on WION World is One at these times.
To bring the benefits of the Subhash Chandra Show to your educational institution, teachers and students, send an invitation to Juhi Jha at juhi@such.org.in.
The biggest gathering of humanity on the planet.
This is quite an interesting spot.
WION brings you exclusive coverage from the ground of the Mahakumbh Mela.
These bikes will be patrolling all around.
From security to infrastructure, from tent city to Sangam, we've got you covered.
This is Tribeni Sangam, where Ganga, Yamuna, and the mythical Saraswati rivers meet.
Experience faith. Experience culture.
Tent as well.
Experience Mahakumbh. Only on WION. World is One. India's global voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide, because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION. World is One.
Hello and welcome to the Friday edition of Race to Power. I'm Isha Hanspal. There's a lot happening in power corridors around the world, and here's what we have lined up on the show today. Well, it has been a day of courtroom drama in Pakistan. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife have been convicted in a corruption case. We tell you all about it. Welcome to the show. Phase 1 of the Gaza ceasefire deal is just about done, and as relief sets in for Palestinians, the political future of the enclave is still uncertain. Who will govern Gaza? We talk to an expert. After several postponements, a Pakistani court convicted jailed former Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi. Both were held guilty in the $231 million Al-Qadir Trust case. Now, the court sentenced Khan to 14 years in jail, while his wife Bushra Bibi was given a 7-year-long prison term. In addition, Imran Khan will be fined 1 million Pakistani rupees and his wife will be fined $500,000 Pakistani rupees. Reports say that Bushra Bibi was arrested inside the courtroom at the Adiala jail after the conviction. The case relates to accusations that both Imran Khan and Bushra Bibi facilitated illicit transfer of funds. Now, these funds were reportedly intended for the state of Pakistan, but deposited into an account designated for land payments identified by the United Kingdom during the previous PTI government. Imran Khan has been convicted of misusing his power to approve the settlement and allegedly gaining personally from the deal. Imran Khan has hit out at the verdict, saying that it has tarnished the reputation of the judiciary. He rejected the charge that he had benefited and caused huge losses to the government. Imran Khan also charged the government with pushing the verdict, saying that he does not want any relief and is ready to face all cases. In fact, in a post on his social media profile, the former Prime Minister and PTI party founder accused Nawaz Sharif of PMLN and Asif Ali Zardari of the PPP of corruption and bribery. He went on to question why the cases against both these leaders were shut down and demanded that they be held accountable. Under Pakistani law, the conviction effectively bars Imran Khan from contesting elections for 5 years. He is expected to move the High Court in the case. And for more, our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik has sent us a report from Islamabad. Take a look.
Well, the lower court today at the Adiala jail prison has convicted Imran Khan and his wife for 14 years imprisonment, and the wife Bushra Bibi being imprisoned for 7 years for corrupt practices in the Al-Qadir Trust case. Now, Imran Khan has also been fined, so has his wife also been fined as well. But largely, Imran Khan, while speaking to the press after the conviction, said that this is something that is being done particularly to infuriate him, to hurt him, and that he will not be seeking any relief but would rather be challenging in the superior courts going forward. Anas Malik in Islamabad, Pakistan for WION World is One.
In a major